So you might have seen this graph before, but let's explain it a little bit and let's help you go from here to here without going through this bit up here. So this is called the Dunning Kruger effect, and on the side here we've got confidence here. So this is low confidence and this is really high confidence. And then on this axis, we've got competence. And you could also frame that as being time if you're dedicated to a specific sport or activity. What happens generally with people is they start out and they gain a lot of confidence very, very quickly, but they haven't really gained much competence. And then what probably is going to happen is they're going to get to Mount Stupid pretty quickly. Mount Stupid is basically where you have got to a point where you're taking a lot of risk. If this is something like backcountry skiing or ski mountaineering or alpine climbing, you're taking a lot of risk because you don't have that much competence yet with the activity, but you've got a lot of confidence in what you're doing. You see this happen all the time in all different types of sports. People get up to Mount Stupid and then something kind of scary happens, something bad happens, or somebody has some kind of accident. And then what happens is you quickly fall down into the valley of despair. Now, this could actually be where a lot of people end their journey with a particular activity because they've kind of had a good taste of it and they realize that it's not for them. What happens if you continue doing the activity? Well, what generally happens for people is you get onto what's known as the slope of enlightenment. Now, this slope of enlightenment is a little bit more of a shallow angle of attack where over time and over doing the activity more and more, you gain more competence and you're also gaining more confidence at the same time. And that brings you up to the plateau of sustainability, where you have a reasonably high level of confidence and a reasonably high level of competence, and those two are matching up and you're right up at this good end of the graph. So how do we go from here to here without taking too much risks and without having any big accidents? Well, one thing that's worth really noting is on this first trajectory of doing anything that's dangerous, it's very worthwhile having a mentor or somebody around you who's at this end of the spectrum where they've got a lot of competence and they've got a lot of confidence, and they can then help you in moving Mount Stupid down a little bit more and maybe even getting rid of the valley of despair and making this graph a little bit more in this sort of shape. The best way to do that is doing courses, is going out with much more experienced partners who've got a really good track record in the mountains or in whatever they're doing. And yeah, this is basically the best way to avoid Mount Stupid and the Valley of Despair.